Oh, hey now, kiddies. It's that time again. Yes, it's 6 o'clock on a Friday evening. And if it's 6 o'clock on a Friday evening, that could mean only one thing right here on the bottom. Yes, Fatman's Fandango, your 3 solid hours of the sultry, soulful sounds of the Jerry Garcia solo catalog. Poppa Stompa coming to you here live from the bottom in Indianapolis, Indiana. It's a beautiful day here in Indianapolis, and we're going to crush into some equally beautiful music, so I hope you're ready, because we've got a lot to get into. Yes, we do. There's so much to get into. Hear that? 6 pages of notes, folks. 6 pages of notes, because Poppa Stompa needs to keep this voluminous amount of music all in check so I don't stumble all over myself. This is going to be episode number 23 for July the 13th, 2017. Well, we're going to get into some pretty heavy-duty stuff here today, folks. We're going to start off, we're going to do a whole heap and hunk of the Planet Earth set rock and roll orchestra outtakes from If I Could Only Remember My Name, David Crosby's first solo effort. This is called the Perro Sessions in the Taper World, from December 1970 to January 1971. We've got a whole heap and hunk of these outtakes, and then we're going to finish it all off with a lamentably short life of a supergroup called David and the Dorks. Okay, let's get into it. I'm getting all stumbly here just thinking about how I'm going to talk about all this, so we should just do it. Well, these outtakes were recorded while David Crosby made his album If I Could Only Remember My Name, which was his first solo album, which was recorded in December 1970 and January 1971 at Wally Heider's studio in downtown San Francisco, California. 245 Hyde Street, right there between Turk and Eddie. If you take a little walk around the corner from the Warfield, you'll find it. The building still exists. It even says Wally Heider's over the door. Amazingly nondescript little building in the middle of the city, but some amazingly awesome music occurred in the studio. Like I said before, this was the sessions for David Crosby's first solo album, and basically the way it went down was, a couple months earlier, Paul Kantner, Grace Slick got together with their new members of Jefferson Starship. They had abandoned the Jefferson Airplane name and were now Jefferson Starship. And they made an album called Blows Against the Empire, a Hugo-nominated science fiction concept album that is quite amazing. I highly recommend picking it up. And they said, hey, everybody, come on down and help us make this album. And they had so much fun doing it that David Crosby was like, you know what? I think I'm going to do that when I make my solo album here in a couple months. So, in December 1970, he set up in Wally Heider's to make his album, and he said, come on down, folks, help me make this live album. And boy, did they have quite a cast of characters. David Crosby, of course, Graham Nash, one Jerome John Garcia, Phil Lesh, Mickey Hart, Billy Kreutzmann, Paul Kantner, Grace Slick, Jorma Kaukonen, Jack Cassidy, David Freiberg, Neil Young, and a whole host of other people from the San Francisco Sound showing up nightly to help David Crosby lay this album down, collaborate, sit in and play on a lot of the tunes. And man, the album is amazing because of it, and these outtakes are equally as amazing. So we're going to bring them here to you tonight. You're going to hear a lot of tunes here you've never heard before, some that you have, and some that you haven't, and some you never will again. None of these albums made it onto If I Could Only Remember My Name. Some of them made it on to some other albums later on in the Planet Earth Rock and Roll Orchestra milieu, because they made a bunch of albums. They made Blows Against the Empire. They made If I Could Only Remember My Name. They made Baron von Tollbooth and the Chrome Nut by Paul Kantner and Grace Slick, and also their album Sun Fighter. 4 albums in which all these people hung out and helped make all these amazing tunes. So let's get on into it. sit back, open up a cold one, roll yourself up something good, because this music is heavy duty. You're going to enjoy it. Buckle up, kids. Here you go. The Pero Sessions from December 1970 to January 1971. Only right here on Fatman's Fandango. And Poppa Stompa, going to be the only one that brings it to you. Enjoy, folks.
Can I sing it to you? Sure, it's the one that starts with it.
Is it really Monday? I must have been here for a week. Is it really Monday? I think the war's begun to speak. Maybe someone's come to Is it really Monday? Minutes seem to pass like hours. Really Monday? For smoking flower. His game is fear, his serious too. Keeping a zoo for you. Is it really Monday? Must have been here for a week. Is it really Monday? I think this damn wall's begun to speak.
important, not paid.
Know what I mean? Sit there, you watch your tune. Sit there, you drink your beer. You smile 'cause you're under anesthesia. You sit there, but you're not here. Your brain is living in yesterday. Your soul is in last week. And I'm not even sure if you can speak. Yeah. If you sit there in your armchair, sit there. You don't give your children are growing up all around you. You don't know why they live. You're killing hundreds of men a day, maybe more. You're not even sure if it's a war. And you sit there, watch your tube. You just sit there, and you're drinking all that beer, and you smile 'cause you're under anesthesia. Sit there, but you're not really here. I don't know where you are, but you're not really here. Why don't you look all around you? It's C, E minor, A minor, G, A minor. If I had a look every ace I've drawn, I could almost tell the size of Abilene. Don't you push me, baby, 'cause I'm only alone. And you know I'm only in it for the gold. Da 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 da. Now that part, the second phrase in it is slow. It's C. It's just half the changes. That's okay. It's perfectly cool. The other one fits actually. It ends up in the same place. It's just half the way. We don't have to keep laboring on this one. If I had a gun for every ace I've drawn, I could almost tell the size of Abilene. Don't you push me, baby, 'cause I'm only alone. And you know I'm only in it for the gold. tell the size of Abilene. Don't you push me, baby, 'cause I'm all alone. And you know I'm only in it for the gold. And you know I'm only in it for the gold. You know I'm only in it for the gold. Over Jordan, there it is. Just going, no more to roam. Only going over Jordan. Just a going to my home. Forgot the changes. I'm only, yeah. Over Jordan, only going, no more to run. I'm just going over Jordan. Goes back to the original. mountains be my home. Make the 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 mountains.
Gonna make the mountains be my home. Gonna make the mountains be my home.
folks to see what we did with the remains.
Oh, yeah, folks. Woo! You feel that? Your hair standing on end. You got the goosebumps. Woo! That is some glorious music. I'm here to tell you, folks. Poppa Stompa with you here on Fatman's Fandango, coming to you only on the bottom. Wow. Planet Earth Rock and Roll Orchestra. December 1970. Jerry Garcia, David Crosby, Graham Nash, Phil Lesh, Billy Kreutzmann, Mickey Hart, Paul Kantner, Grace Slick, David Freiberg, Neil Young. I've kind of run out of names, but they're all there. Whew. I love that music. That music is some of the best stuff you'll ever hear, I will guarantee. So let me kind of explain what we just heard there, because a lot of it is going to be new to some of you. They started off with a lovely little ditty, Crosby and Jerry and Phil just playing around, called Is It Really Monday? Then they rolled on into a tune called You Sit There, with the same guys, Crosby, Garcia, Lesh, sitting around, just messing around back and forth with the lyrics. And then you had a lovely little surprise, Jerry Garcia teaching Bill Lesh, David Crosby, David Freiberg, Loser, a song that wouldn't appear on Jerry's solo album for another year. And here he is whipping it out in this studio session, and they're just messing with it. And he's teaching it to Phil and David Crosby. And David Freiberg sat in there on the second cut with the viola. Pretty amazing. Then we moved into a beautiful, gorgeous, old-style, hymnal kind of tune called Walking in the Mountains by David Crosby and one Jerome Garcia. And it's just a beautiful, it is what it is. Went walking out last summer trying to find a fresh air, went walking in the mountains. A friend told me I'd find you there. It's just beautiful music. Beautiful. It's also referred to as the Wayfaring Stranger. And then we moved into the meat, Mountain Song. I gave you 3 versions of Mountain Song because I wanted you to see the progression it made. We had Mountain Song take 1, Mountain Song take 3, and then at the end there with the Over Jordan Walking in the Mountains portion going right into Mountain Song 4. Just, they worked great together. That Mountain Song cut 4, man. Wow, that's some of the most amazing music. And that's Jerry Garcia, David Crosby on guitars, Phil Lesh on bass, maybe David Crosby in some, Jack Cassidy in some passages. Most of it was live, but I mean, everybody was there. Paul Kantner playing the banjo. It's rare that you hear banjo, it's not Jerry and this stuff, but that was Paul Kantner playing the banjo, David Freiberg playing the viola, Grace Slick on the piano, Jerry and David Crosby on guitar, Phil or Jack on bass, we don't know which, and Mickey and on drums, Mickey or Billy. There's no indication who was playing drums on that, but you have most of the main players. And that song, man, when these tapes hit the taper circuit when I lived up in Colorado in 96 and 97, man, it was like what I would imagine it was like when Sgt. Pepper's came out. People would listen to this constantly for months on end. You go hang out with people, smoke with your buddies, and everybody be listening to this stuff. And that Mountain Song inspired and instigated more bluegrass and acoustic music in the next few months to a year in the Colorado mountains than I dare say any piece of music. I mean, that really lit a fire under a lot of people's asses. I mean, they heard this and they wanted to play music like it. And being mountain dwellers, we felt compelled to share it with people because that song definitely made us feel, I mean, it explained to us, it's kind of like a musical representation of why we were all in the mountains. And hearing it reaffirmed it to us. And then people turned around and decided they were going to give that feeling back to people in their own music. It was just quite an inspirational tune. Further played it after 16 years, Phil Lesh, or actually after, 42 years, or around 40 to 42 years, Phil Lesh picked the tune up and reworked it with his son and further played it a couple of times toward the end of their career. And I'll tell you, man, when they came here to Indianapolis, they played that song. Poppa Stompa shed actually, Poppa Stompa looked like a big old baby. I was bawling because I had been waiting 16 plus years, never thought I'd hear that song played live. And when that thing came out over the speakers, that heaping, beautiful teardrops of utter joy, folks. It's what music's all about. It was beautiful. That song has a special place in my heart, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope it'll have a special place in your heart in the future. Share it with people. If you know somebody that's not heard this, play it for them, man. Watch the light explode in their eyes when they hear this stuff. Watch their skull peel back and the light flash out. Because you can't be a music fan and hear that stuff and not be amazed. Please share this music with people, folks. I hope you should share all the music that I bring out for you folks here on this radio show. You know, that's why I do it. Sharing the music with people. Got to share that music. Okay, but I digress. Let's get back into it. After those amazing mountain songs, they went on into a tune called the Wall Song. Jerry, Crosby, Phil, Billy Kreutzmann. This song appeared later on the Graham Nash David Crosby album from 1972. So it did have a life, just not on this album, if I could only remember my name. And then after that, you had a little bit of a tune that Jerry would whip out on his solo album a year later called Eep Hour. That was a lovely little run, a little bit different than what you would hear on the album, which was very heavy in the pedal steel. But still, here's Jerry whipping out this tune for his buddies a full year before he would record it, and sharing it with them and sharing it with us. And we love him for it. So let's move on into the second half of these tracks, because there's still a lot of music to come. This next portion, oh boy, is it heavy. Woo! You're going to have to really, really tie those shoes tight, folks, because you're going to be boogieing. This is some heavy-duty stuff coming up here. A lot of it is Jerry Garcia, Jorma Kaukonen, Jack Cassidy, Bill Kreutzmann, and David Crosby jamming it out. And heavily jamming it out, let me tell you. So let's get on into it. The second half of our Planet Earth Rock and Roll Orchestra extravaganza here on Fatman's Fandango, only right here on the bottom. Enjoy, kids.
change the level on it. Don't change it at the guitar. Change it at the end. Because it'll change the compression. Are you getting enough out there, or is it too noisy? Because I can decrease the noise.
Oh, yes. There you go, folks. The second heaping course of the Planet Earth Rock and Roll Orchestra sessions from December 1970 to January 1971 at the Hyde Street studio of Wally Hyder. The Perro tapes, as we like to call them. David Crosby, Jerry Garcia, Bill Lesh, Graham Nash, Mickey Hart, Billy Kreutzmann, Paul Kantner, Grace Slick, Jorma Kaukonen, Jack Cassidy, David Freiberg, and a host of others, helping David Crosby record his first solo effort, If I Could Only Remember My Name. Some amazing music there, so let me get into telling you what it's all about. That first track we had there is called Wild Turkey, or AKA Leather Wing Bat, depending upon who you go by. And that was Jorma, Jerry, Jack Cassidy, Billy Kreutzmann, or Mickey Hart. There's no indication in the notes of who was playing drums on that, but we do know it is Jerry, Jorma, David Crosby, Jack Cassidy. And then they moved on into what is called Jerry and Jorma's Jam, or affectionately Electric Bat, which is the same lineup basically without David Crosby. So Jerry, Jack Cassidy, Jorma Kaukonen, and either Mickey or Billy on the drums. We're unsure who. The notes lean toward Mickey Hart, but it has question marks after it, so you never know. We want to thank, by the way, the engineer who recorded all this, Steve Barncard, who, when these tapes came out in the late 90s, actually sat down and wrote like 3 pages of information that he could remember from all these sessions. It's beautiful. The reason this all happened is because David Crosby was going through old vault tapes looking for things to put on a compendium album called Voyages, David Crosby Through the Years. And they listened to these tapes and decided they were amazing enough that they actually escaped into the real world, and we have them today. So I want to thank Steve Barcard for his almost amazing recollection of what happened. There's a lot of good notes. So anyway, they went into the first Jorma and Jerry jam there. It was Jorma, Jerry, Jack Cassidy, Mickey Hart, and then they peeled off another lengthy Jerry and Jorma jam number 2 afterwards. Meaty. And then we ended up with what is affectionately called the Shuffle Jam, which is Jerry, and it's uncertain who else, but definitely David Crosby or Paul Kantner on acoustic guitar, Jerry on electric, and the drums sounds like Billy Kreutzmann to me, and Phil Lesh. And to the trained ear of the seasoned deadhead, there's no way you can ignore the fact that that jam heavily favors the Mind Left Body Jam, which, oddly enough, came from a tune recorded by Planet Earth Rock and Roll Orchestra on their on Paul Kantner and Grace Slick's album called Baron von Tollbooth and the Chrome Nun.